Hello, everyone, and welcome to Technical and Professional Writing. I'm Dr. Moses, and this is an introduction to the course. You can see I have several links up here, sort of on at the very top of the page, and which include my office hours here and other sorts of tools. I want to start, I guess, with the syllabus and just walk you through a few parts of it just to make sure that everyone knows what to expect. You can see the course description. This is one of your early assignments, of course, is to read and respond to the syllabus so that it's clear that you understand what some of the expectations are. First of all, I'd like to point out that this is not an independent study course. You must turn in assignments on time each week. It's not the case that you could take the class and turn everything in at the end. It just doesn't work that way. There are participation deadlines each week, posting to forums, uploading assignments, and the like. So these deadlines are there to keep you on track and to avoid actually the situation of having work pile up. You have to read and write more in this course than you would in a face-to-face course. That's just a fact of life of online teaching and learning. It takes me 2 to 3 times more effort to create the course, to create all the modules, and it takes students more time, roughly twice as much time, to take this course than a face-to-face course because you have to type so much, for one. Even though you don't have to attend a classroom, you do have to do a lot of reading and a lot of writing. So what I would like you to do is to verify that you have read this part and send me a quick note that says you've read this and that you understand it. This little item right here is a standard rule or standard sort of procedure that I'd like you to use throughout the semester when you send me information. Your subject line needs to include your first and your last name, writ 3562W-78, which is the course name and section number, and then it'll be a keyword about the assignment. I usually indicate what that word should be. You can take a keyword from the assignment. In this case, the keyword is I understand. And this is to avoid problems where people get through half of the semester, they haven't shown up. I have assumed that you've dropped the course, and then I discover that you're still in the course and hoping to be able to make up the work. And boy, is that hard on you, and it is hard on me because we all work together in the same at a pace. And so if I have to go back and review the old assignments, that takes more time and effort for me, but it's even worse for you, obviously, because you have the pressure of time to get all this work done. So that's that. The learning outcomes are here. The text is right here. You have to have the 5th edition. You can use the ebook if you prefer, or you can use the hard copy. Chapter outline is here, the grading is here, and you can review this. Once again, I add this note that participation is required. Missing deadlines is sort of like attendance or not being present in class, missing class. So I've outlined the guidelines here, and you need to really review these. If you miss 3 deadlines without legitimate excuses, it'll lower your grade. So be in touch with me about missed deadlines. If things come up, I understand. But if there's a pattern of missed deadlines, there's not much I can do beyond a certain point, and it's it's just hard to get caught up and to bend over backwards. I do that when I can, and as I said, when legitimate excuses come up, just let me know. You don't have to tell me about personal items. Just tell me that something's happened, and I'll understand. But then again, sometimes people miss a lot of class for legitimate reasons, but your grade suffers anyway because of the quality of work. So that's just a fact of life. As in all academic courses, plagiarism is to be avoided, and so we will have expectations for clearly identifying sources. I won't belabor that right now. Here's some more information about plagiarism, which you should look at, especially if you're not native to the United States. It's very helpful. Different countries, cultures have different norms about writing styles and about plagiarism or about using other people's work. And so if you're not from the US, um, it may seem more or less rigid depending on where you're from, but it may be different for sure. So getting used to US US rules is important. If you have a need for any kind of accommodations, just let me know. There's a formal service at the university, and you need to provide me with documentation if you need extra time to complete materials. Here's your another advisory about the assignment name and file name. So this is for subject line and file names. Um, I will not take responsibility for ensuring that you get credit for work if you don't take the responsibility for properly um, naming your subjects and your file names. The reason I do this is not to be a jerk, but because if I don't, sometimes people send me files that don't have their names on them. They're not typed in the document, and I don't, and then I have to spend all this time to figure out who sent me this stuff. And boy, I don't want to spend that time because it's easy to fix. It's easy to prevent these problems. It's also really standard practice as far as professional and technical writing goes that you put your name on your documents and that your file names and your subject lines be clear, searchable, and useful. Okay, time management, big deal here, especially for online, because people make the mistake of thinking, oh, it's online, I don't have to, it's whatever, it's easier or somehow less time required and all that. So I'm asking you to fill out a form that that tells me and tells you when during the week you're going to be working. Now, obviously, I'm not going to monitor this. Excuse me, I'm not going to monitor this, and you can make up anything you want just to fulfill the assignment. But if you actually do it well and with some thought, you will have the advantage of knowing when you need to spend time on classwork and just focus on that. You can't do the course on the fly. You really need to set aside time to get the work done. So I ask you to do this assignment. I'll discuss that in a little bit. So much for the syllabus. Let's go back. My office hours, as I said, just write to me via email with the word help in the subject line, and I'll know you want to talk. If you want to spend some time on, we can have a Google Hangout, or we can Skype, or we can have a phone call. All my information is here. And or we can meet in my office, which is in 204 Nolte, over by the Bell Museum, or over by Northrop Auditorium, whichever one you know best. And like that there. Okay. Syllabus, home, Google Plus community. A little bit about that. Here's a place where you can post issues that you're having with the course in terms of the Moodle site and the technical stuff. If things aren't working out, if the pace of the course isn't working out, if there's something confusing on the website, it would be great if you'd post it here. Everyone can see it, and you can sort of vent if you like, and then I can follow up and make changes whenever I can to make the site better. I'll also have you come here for the occasional assignment. Back on the home page, if you are not a native speaker of English, I have a page here for you and where I will add resources, and your recommendations, your requests are welcome, your suggestions. Please send them to me. I'm happy to add as many resources as will be useful. Back on the home page, we see grading scales are here for your reviewing pleasure. And I'll go over these again when they're more relevant when we're talking about a specific assignment, but you can see, um, you can get an idea of some of the grading criteria for the course. Finally, then in the tools column, my writing lab goes along with your textbook, and there are some resources there. I'll show you how to set up your account. Flipgrid is part of an assignment that I'll tell you about. You can, as a student at the U, you can watch free Lynda tutorials, which are software tutorials. There are also some tutorials for Moodle and all kinds of other topics. So I encourage you to use those as needed or as your interests arise. It's a great opportunity while you're at the university to learn software programs for free. The LinkedIn group is designed for our technical communication community here at the university, comprised of people who have been through our programs or are currently in our programs, and it's free, of course, and very easy to join. So I encourage you to go there because we post jobs. If you're interested in the field, you'll learn about the field from people who are in it, and so that's another resource for you. And that concludes the introduction to the course.